So as we know, it's Bob O'Neill's last conference as Executive Director of the ICMA. He's been in post now for some 14 years. So we're going to have a look back at some of those achievements, and I'm absolutely delighted now to be joined by Mora and Peggy Merriss to do just that. First of all, thank you very much indeed for taking the time to talk to us. Really appreciate that. So thank you.
You're welcome.
You're welcome, thank you.
So obviously this is Bob O'Neill's last conference as Executive Director. So looking back at the time when Bob was recruited, what attracted you to Bob in the first place?
Well, we had a number of qualified candidates, and Bob just hit all the marks in terms of what we felt we needed for the organization. We were just coming off a very long tenured director who had an excellent track record, but things do change. They changed in the country, they changed demographically, and Bob had certain skill sets that I think resonated with the board. Bob has very quiet energy. It's misleading in terms of conversations, but his dedication, his professionalism, very thoughtful individual,
right,
and totally dedicated to the profession. One advantage that he did have, I think, over other candidates is he spent a couple of years as the executive director of the National Academy of Public Administration outside local government, and that just gave him just some added value at the time.
Yeah, I think Bob brought a different approach, very data rich and information, but he could still be very personable and still be very approachable to all the members. And I think, as Dave said, he had kind of this very really nice set of backgrounds: city manager, a county manager, a national organization executive director, and he has just a deep abiding love for local government and for the things people do in local government. And I think he articulates that in a really amazing way to our membership.
What do you think some of the challenges are that he and the organization has had to overcome during his tenure?
I don't know if I'd classify them as challenges. I think I would describe it in terms of some of Bob's initiatives.
Right.
And he has had a fantastic focus on the younger generation in terms of the professional development needs for the future of the profession. And that has been a key element that he brought to the organization. And there's been a lot of investment on the part of ICMA in younger professionals. So that was, I think, one of his key achievements. It wasn't quite, frankly, one of the things we talked about at the time, but as Peggy said, a very thoughtful individual, and he found that to be an issue pretty quickly and charted a course for the organization to make investments in younger professionals.
And I think his focus on leadership, not just management, but leadership, and what leadership means over the stages of any individual's given career. So we now have programs that start with leadership for the younger staff, but we also have these extra efforts that are made for kind of folks who've been there, done that, and want to look for a new leadership opportunity, like Leadership Gettysburg or Leadership Williamsburg. And I really think that his real focus on ICMA is value driven. And what is our value? Well, our value is leadership, and he really brought that home very strongly, I think, and has made the organization focus a little differently on who and what we can be.
Well, thank you both very much indeed for joining us. We really appreciate that, and thank you.
Thanks for the opportunity.
You're welcome.
Take
Thank
care.
You for asking.